The climate crisis is not only about carbon, but it's also about justice. And I am so grateful for, and I pay tribute to, Nicola Sturgeon for her determination then and her ongoing commitment to loss and damage funding now. Because that first £2 million, later expanded to 10 million, was not a grand act of charity. It was an act of solidarity, of reparation. It said to communities in Malawi, in Ethiopia, in South Sudan, we see you, we hear you, and we will not look away. That decision mattered. It built the momentum that led to the establishment of the Global Loss and Damage Fund at COP27, a fund that will, for the first time, help those living with the irreversible consequences of a crisis they did not cause. Scotland's courage helped open that door. But opening the door is not the same as walking through it. Today, that fund remains dangerously under-resourced. Communities are still waiting for support as their homes are flooded, their crops fail, their futures disappear. Every tonne of carbon emitted, every missed emissions target adds to the loss and damage borne by the poorest. So this is our challenge, to make good on the promise that began in Glasgow, to ensure that Scotland's leadership continues, not as symbolism, but as substance. We can do that by joining the Fill the Fund campaign, pressing the world's richest nations to make grant-based donations and ensuring direct access for the communities most affected. We can do it by establishing, here in Scotland, a centre of excellence for loss and damage, linking our universities, our NGOs, our partners in the Global South to drive innovation and justice. And we can do it by matching words with action at home, maintaining our International Development Fund at £15 million a year, increasing the Climate Justice Fund to the same level, and making the polluters pay through measures like a private jet tax or other mechanisms that link our high carbon economy to its real human costs. The climate emergency is not some abstract future. It is happening now, in droughts that destroy livelihoods, in floods that wash away graveyards, in the trauma of families forced to leave ancestral homes. And it is an emergency rooted in inequality. The richest 1% of humanity produces more emissions than the poorest 2/3 combined. That is not a failure of technology. It is a failure of politics and of justice. So let Scotland once again stand on the side of justice. Let us back the call from the most climate-vulnerable nations for a fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty, a bold, fair plan to phase out fossil fuels and ensure no worker or community is left behind. At COP26, I said that climate justice is about more than emissions. It is about who we stand with and who we choose to protect. That remains true today. If Scotland is to be a good global citizen, our responsibility does not end at our borders. It extends to Ekules in Ethiopia, whose goats were replenished through Scottish support, to the children in Zomba, Malawi, who can now return to school after floods. Their resilience is our legacy. Let us honour that legacy. As the writer Arundhati Roy once said, another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Let us make that world breathe more freely through justice, through solidarity, and through the courage and compassion to act as if that better world depends on us, because it does. Thank you.